Focus on personal responsibility. The Stoics advocate for focusing on our own actions and attitudes, acknowledging that while we can't control external events, we can control our responses to them. This can be very freeing. Resilience. The Stoics teach resilience, encouraging us to face hardship and adversity with a calm and composed mindset, using logic and reason as much as possible. Living according to nature. Stoicism suggests that living in harmony with nature and understanding our place in the larger cosmos helps us find a happier way of life. Importance of virtue. Virtue, in Stoic philosophy, is the highest good and is synonymous with wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Through virtue, our behaviors help us build contentment and inner peace. Having been born into slavery in Hierapolis, present-day Turkey, he gained his freedom and even became an influential teacher in Rome before being banished. It seems that every emperor loved a good banishment back in the day. Epictetus's philosophy, as recorded by his pupil Arrian, can be found in the Discourses and the Enquiry, or manual. Epictetus's teachings emphasize the Stoic belief that the path to happiness is found in accepting the moment as it presents itself and not being controlled by our desire for pleasure or our fear of pain. He taught that we can achieve a state of tranquility and freedom by focusing on what is within our control, our beliefs, opinions, and attitudes, and letting go of what is beyond our control, such as external events and the actions of others. If anyone tells you that a certain person speaks ill of you, do not make excuses about what is said of you, but answer, "He was ignorant of my other faults, else he would not have mentioned these alone." Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Don't explain your philosophy, embody it. There is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power or our will. Men are disturbed not by things, but by the views which they take of things. Thus death is nothing terrible, else it would have appeared so to Socrates. But the terror consists in our notion of death, that it is terrible. When, therefore, we are hindered, or disturbed, or grieved, let us never impute it to others but to ourselves, that is, to our own views. It is the action of an uninstructed person to reproach others for his own misfortunes, of one entering upon instruction to reproach himself, and of one perfectly instructed to reproach neither others or himself. First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Any person capable of angering you becomes your master. He can anger you only when you permit yourself to be disturbed by him. Circumstances don't make the man, they only reveal him to himself. He's a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. Don't seek to have events happen as you wish, but wish them to happen as they do happen, and all will be well with you. God has entrusted me with myself. No man is free who is not master of himself. A man should so live that his happiness shall depend as little as possible on external things. Know you not that a good man does nothing for appearance sake, but for the sake of having done right? Marcus Aurelius was Roman emperor from 161 to 180 AD, and is now known as one of the last 5 good emperors, and an important name in the philosophy of Stoicism. During his time, he showed a remarkable dedication to duty and his people, despite a reign under challenging circumstances, including military conflicts and the Antonine Plague. In the context of Stoic philosophy, he is best known for his work, Meditations, composed of a series of personal writings and reflections. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. You always own the option of having no opinion. There is never any need to get worked up or to trouble your soul about things you can't control. These things are not asking to be judged by you. Leave them alone. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. B1. Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart. Never let the future disturb you. You will meet it if you have to with the same weapons of reason which today arm you against the present. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Live a good life. If there are gods and they are just, then they will not care how devout you have been, but will welcome you based on the virtues you have lived by. If there are gods, but unjust, then you should not want to worship them. If there are no gods, then you will be gone, but will have lived a noble life that will live on in the memories of your loved ones. How much time he gains who does not look to see what his neighbor says or does or thinks, but only at what he does himself, to make it just and holy. Seneca the Younger, born Lucius Annius Seneca around 4 BC, and living until AD 65, was a Roman Stoic philosopher, statesman, and playwright. He is one of the most prominent figures in the Stoic school of philosophy, known for his teachings and writings on ethics and morality. His letters, written to his friend Lucilius, provide some of the most useful and grounded Stoic philosophy from the ancient world. If you live in harmony with nature, you will never be poor. If you live according to what others think, you will never be rich. True happiness is to enjoy the present, without anxious dependence upon the future, not to amuse ourselves with either hopes or fears, but to rest satisfied with what we have, which is sufficient. For he that is so wants nothing. The greatest blessings of mankind are within us and within our reach. A wise man is content with his lot, whatever it may be, without wishing for what he has not. Stoic philosophy offers its students a clear and practical path out of suffering. Whether we're having trouble with work, our social lives, accepting the state of the world around us, or having difficulty knowing how to act, Stoic philosophy gives us a compass of almost all situations we could want for. One of its most impactful practices is the wisdom to take responsibility for what we can control and accept what we cannot. This principle encourages us to focus our energy and attention on our own actions and attitudes rather than worrying about external events beyond our control. Another core principle of Stoicism is the need to develop virtue, which is seen as the highest form of good and the only thing needed for true and lasting happiness. Virtue in this context means qualities like wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline. Stoicism teaches us that by striving to embody these virtues in our daily lives, we can lead more fulfilling and meaningful lives. This focus on personal ethics and integrity offers a solid foundation for making decisions and navigating ethical dilemmas. Generally speaking, the Stoics have left us with a pretty robust framework for personal development, offering practical strategies for living a balanced and virtuous life. Its teachings on resilience, virtue, harmony with nature, and tranquility are as relevant today as they were in ancient times, offering valuable guidance for anyone seeking to navigate the ups and downs of modern life with grace and wisdom. The journey to greatness begins with a single step. And as we leave 2023 behind, it's time to ask ourselves, what can I do today to be the best version of myself tomorrow? As the final chapter of 2023 draws to a close, we stand at the threshold of a new dawn, beckoning us to embrace a moment of reflection and anticipation. You know, life's a bit like an uncharted journey, where each day offers a new chance to shape our destiny. The ancient Stoics, with their profound wisdom, understood this well. They weren't just philosophers lost in thought. They were realists, deeply connected with the rhythms of life. Imagine a quiet evening in late 2023. You're reflecting on the past year and pondering the future. It's not just about setting resolutions that might be forgotten. It's about embedding habits that will shape your life. So here are 10 Stoic-inspired habits crafted for the transition from 2023 to 2024. These aren't just ideas to ponder their actions to live by. And don't worry, we're not going to delve into complex jargon. This is Stoicism for today, straightforward, practical, and directly applicable to your daily life. 1. Start small. George Washington, the man whose resolve shaped a nation, cherished the saying, "Many mickles make a muckle," a humble Scottish proverb, yet it captures a profound truth. The grand is made up of the tiny. Similarly, Zeno, the founder of Stoicism, had it right when he said, "Well-being is realized by small steps, but it's no small thing." He understood that transformation doesn't happen in leaps, but in small, deliberate strides. Think of it like planting seeds. Each tiny seed has the potential to grow into something magnificent. So how do we apply this? Let's say you aim to read more. Instead of setting an overwhelming goal, commit to a page a day. It's like building a mosaic. Each small piece adds to the grand picture. Remember, a walk begins with a single step, and a habit starts with a single action. James Clear's Atomic Habits echoes this sentiment beautifully. The essence of atomic habits isn't just in their explosive potential, but in their foundational nature, and atom, the smallest unit yet, holds immense power. Our smallest habits, similarly, are the building blocks of profound change. And here's a Stoic secret. It's not just about doing small things, but also thinking small. Avoid the trap of grand, unattainable promises. Instead, focus on what's right in front of you, the immediate, the achievable. As you string together these small victories, you'll find they lead to significant transformations. Remember, even the mightiest river starts as a trickle. So as we step into 2024, let's embrace the power of starting small. After all, as Zeno would remind us, no act of kindness, no matter how small, is ever wasted. To stop letting anxiety rule over you. There's a storm we all face, one that brews not in the sky, but within us, anxiety. It's a shadow that follows us, whispering about what could go wrong, what might happen. But here's a Stoic truth. You're not a puppet, and anxiety should not be the puppeteer. Marcus Aurelius, a man who helmed an empire, understood this. In his Meditations, he wrote, "Today I escaped from anxiety, or no, I discarded it because it was within me." That's a powerful realization. The turbulence isn't in the plane or the airport, it's in us. Now, how do we break free from this invisible chain? First, own your feelings. Recognize that anxiety is a product of your thoughts, not the world around you. It's like a fog, clouding your vision, making mountains out of molehills. The key is to clear that fog, to see the world as it is, not as your fears painted. This is where mindfulness plays its part. Take a moment, breathe, and ask yourself, is this worry a product of what's happening, or what I fear might happen? More often than not, you'll find it's the latter. Finally, let's debunk a myth. Anxiety is not a preemptive solution to potential problems. In fact, it's quite the opposite. It doesn't prepare you, it paralyzes you. It's like sitting in a rocking chair. There's a lot of movement, but you're going nowhere. So, as we transition into the new year, let's pledge to unshackle ourselves from the chains of anxiety. Let's approach life with a clear mind and a steady heart. As Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events, conquering any vice that holds you captive. We all have our battles, be it with unhealthy habits, procrastination, or negative thinking. The key to victory lies in giving yourself the order to stop. It's about asserting control over your impulses rather than letting them control you. Seneca, another Stoic sage, observed, "We are all slaves to something." But the beauty of Stoicism lies in recognizing that we hold the keys to our own chains. So how do you apply this to your life? Identify that one thing. Maybe it's that extra cup of coffee, endless scrolling on social media, or any habit that's more of a hindrance than a help. Acknowledge its impact on your life. Then make a firm, unequivocal decision to stop. It's not about gradual change. It's about a definitive, deliberate action. When you give yourself the order to stop, you're not just breaking a habit, you're reclaiming your freedom. And as you step into 2024, carry this empowering message. You are the commander of your destiny. And the first command is to master yourself. 5. Free up precious resources. Time. The most valuable resource we have is often squandered on trivialities. We claim to be starved of time, yet a glance at our screen time reveals the truth. It's not about having more time, it's about using the time we have wisely. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what's essential. Epictetus, a philosopher known for his practical wisdom, said, "If you wish to improve, be willing to appear clueless or stupid about some things." This is about making a conscious choice to not get sucked into the vortex of non-essentials, be it doom scrolling, excessive news consumption, or other digital distractions. The strategy here is twofold: awareness and action. First, become acutely aware of where your time goes. Track your activities for a day or a week. You'll likely be surprised at how much time is spent on activities that add little value to your life. This awareness is the first step towards change. Next, take decisive action. Start by reducing the time spent on these distractions. Set limits on your app usage. Designate specific times for news consumption, and avoid aimlessly browsing the internet. This isn't about cutting off from the world, but about choosing not to drown in it. As you reclaim your time, you'll find you have more of it for things that truly matter. Pursuing your goals, nurturing relationships, and personal growth. This habit isn't just about time management, it's about life management. It's about ensuring that the precious hours of your day are spent on pursuits that enrich your life, not deplete it. As we transition into 2024, let's remind ourselves of Epictetus, his words, and focus our energy and time on what truly contributes to our well-being and growth. Remember, every minute spent on something meaningless is a minute taken away from something meaningful. 6. Do something difficult. At the dawn of each new year, Seneca, a Stoic heavyweight, didn't just make resolutions, he made a statement. He plunged into the icy waters of the Tiber River. It wasn't for a swim. It was a declaration of mastery over himself. He was saying loud and clear, "I'm in charge." This act wasn't about the chill of the water. It was about the fire it kindled within, a fire of self-assertion and resilience. It's a vivid reminder that sometimes doing something difficult can be the most empowering act. So how do we bring this Stoic lesson into our lives? It starts with stepping out of our comfort zone. Choose something that challenges you, something that makes you a bit uneasy. It could be anything: waking up an hour earlier, a cold shower, speaking up in a meeting, or even learning a new skill. The task itself isn't as important as the act of pushing your boundaries. It's in these moments of discomfort that we grow the most. It is where we find out what we're truly capable of. The essence of this practice is not in the difficulty itself, but in the assertion of your will over your instincts. It's a testament to your inner strength, a demonstration that you are more than your fears and hesitations as you embark on this journey of doing something difficult. Remember Seneca's unspoken message: I control my actions, my reactions, and my mind. Let 2024 be the year where you embrace challenge, where you prove to yourself that you can do hard things. After all, in the face of challenge, we don't just survive, we thrive. 7. Associate with people who make you better. The company we keep molds us more than we often realize. It's like walking through a forest. The paths you choose determine where you end up. This idea isn't new. Stoics understood the power of association. Seneca, through his letters, demonstrated the value of surrounding oneself with people who inspire growth and wisdom. He once wrote, "Associate with those who will make a better man of you." This isn't just about choosing friends. It's about choosing influences that shape your character and your life. So, how do you apply this in today's world? Start by taking a close look at your circle. Who are the people you spend the most time with? Do they embody the qualities you admire and aspire to? It's not about finding perfect people. It's about finding those who challenge you, support your growth, and share your values. It's like planting yourself in fertile soil, where the environment is conducive to growth. Remember, if you dwell with those who limp, you'll learn to limp too. And this isn't just about avoiding negative influences, it's also about actively. Aurelius, a man who juggled the complexities of ruling an empire, recognized the power in discernment. He wisely noted that much of what we do isn't essential. By saying no to the essential, we don't just free up time, we amplify our ability to focus on what truly matters. It's about making room for the essential by clearing out the clutter. To adopt this in your life, start by evaluating your commitments. Are they aligning with your values and goals? It's easy to get caught up in the whirlwind of busy work that in reality contributes little to our overall purpose. Practice the art of saying no to these distractions. This doesn't mean becoming aloof or unhelpful. It's about setting boundaries that enable you to dedicate your energy to pursuits that are genuinely meaningful. Remember, every time you say yes to something insignificant, you're indirectly saying no to something important. Flip this equation. Make your yeses count. Give an emphatic, wholehearted yes to activities that enrich your life. Whether it's personal development, relationships, or your passions, this selective yes is not just a response. It's a commitment to excellence in what truly matters. As you move into the new year, let your yes be reserved for what brings you closer to the person you aspire to be. Echoing Marcus Aurelius. His wisdom, ask yourself at every moment, is this necessary? Allow 2024 to be the year where you refine the delicate and impactful skill of declining the non-essential, thereby charting a path towards a life rich in focus, purpose, and deep satisfaction. 10. Come back to rhythm. Embracing our humanity includes accepting our imperfections and missteps. Marcus Aurelius, a leader who navigated the complexities of life and empire, knew well the inevitability of faltering. He once reflected on the importance of not just getting up when we fall, but also recognizing the beauty in our humanity that allows us to do so. It's a call to understand that stumbling is part of our journey, not a deviation from it. In practical terms, this means adopting a mindset of resilience and forgiveness. When you slip up on your diet, miss a workout, or falter in your resolutions, don't view it as a failure. Instead, see it as an integral part of the process of growth. The key is in how you respond to these setbacks. Do you berate yourself, or do you acknowledge the slip and gently steer yourself back on track? Embrace the latter approach. It's about creating a habit of self-compassion and persistence. Each time you return to your path, you reinforce the habit of resilience. Celebrate your capacity to return to your rhythm, no matter how many times you might lose it. Remember, it's not about perfection, it's about progress and the continuous journey back to what matters. As Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. As we stride forward into 2024, let's carry with us the essence of the Stoic practices, not just as concepts, but as daily actions that mold our lives. Remember, the journey towards self-discipline, resilience, and serenity isn't just about understanding Stoicism. It's about living it. Each day offers a new canvas, and your actions are the brushstrokes that paint your life's portrait. So start today, pick a practice. Maybe it's a moment of mourning, reflection, or an act of kindness, and see how it transforms your world. Your feedback and stories of transformation are the fuel that keeps this journey vibrant and evolving. Together, let's explore this path of continual growth and share our experiences, shaping not just our own lives but also inspiring those around us. Thank you for being a part of this journey, for your support, and for choosing to make each day a step towards a richer, more meaningful life. Don't forget to watch our next video for more insights and inspiration. On your journey with Stoicism, your path to growth continues there.